Item number 10 on the agenda is the superintendent's announcements. Dr. Murphy.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Queen, and I'll echo some of the comments earlier. Thank you to Ms. Kisner for a very smooth transition and a welcoming here to Berkeley County Schools. You will be dearly missed, but we are going to have several ways to entice you to come back and visit as often as possible. And congratulations to you and your family. One of the first items that I'd just like to kick off, and we talked about it sort of threaded through the meeting, and that is the College Application and Exploration Week, which kicked off this week. And as part of that, our school counselors are driving this initiative. It's an initiative that is pre-K through 12, and it really explores the various college options and post-secondary opportunities. And in this picture here, it just so happens, this was taken last year. You see students wearing face coverings here, and they're doing a career exploration activity, creating sentence structures. The one item that I'd like to highlight is our Promise Scholarship, which is a merit-based financial aid program here in West Virginia for residents of the state. And it's for students that are high school graduates who are eligible for annual awards up to $4,700. And this is to cover the cost of tuition and any mandatory fees. I do want to make note that the state has shared with us that participation thus far in the program this year is trending a little slow. So we've been encouraged to get the word out about that, and I just want families to be aware of that. The best people to talk to are your school counselors at your school and get the information about how to apply. I also want to do a shout out to several of our students who were nominated from Berkeley County Schools that are nominees. The first two for the U.S. presidential, Nina Saluja, and she's from Spring Mills, and Alex Albaugh from Martinsburg High, as well as for the CTE scholarship nominees, Brianna Holston from Martinsburg and Alexander Heath from Musselman High. And those students will move forward to the state level where they'll be competing with some of their peers in the other 54 counties, and we wish them the best. I want to give you a little bit of an update as far as where we are with the status of instruction. My continued theme is that we want our students back into schools. We've been sharing that theme sort of across multiple platforms here through In Touch communiques, through my interaction with local media, newspaper, and on the radio, and also working very closely with our health department and the National Guard. We are advocating for folks to go out and have testing done, and some of that testing actually is occurring here this evening up until 8:30 earlier, and it begins at noon. We also pushed out a message here that talked about the various spots of Spring Mills Monday today through next Sunday, and that's noon to 8 p.m. Musselman High is Monday to Sunday. Hedgesville High is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and through Sunday. And then because of elections on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, at sites that are election sites of these here, Hedgesville and Musselman, we are going to have at Berkeley Morgan Board of Health on Tuesday from 11:30 to 3:30, and then later in the afternoon at the Medical Testing Center there from 4:30 to 8:30. So we do have a host of different tools that we're using. Obviously, wearing face coverings, practice social distancing, and good hygiene. We also know that people that may be feeling ill, they go get tested, they find out that they're positive. However, there's other individuals that may not be showing symptoms. And so those folks are identified as asymptomatic, but they may be, because of their interaction, they may be spreading the virus. And it's really helpful through the testing as another tool, find out who those individuals are, so that they then can isolate or quarantine and kind of bring this virus to its knees. I do want to give you, though, a picture of what's happening inside of Berkeley County schools. And these numbers do change. So this is a snapshot as of today. As of today, we have 11 active cases in 8 different locations. So 11 individuals, students or staff, have tested positive. To give you also an idea of our total population, we shared earlier that we have 19,256 students. We have over 2,700 employees. So we have roughly 23,000 members of the Berkeley County community that make this up. That's about 18% of the total Berkeley County population, which is roughly 121,000 people. So if we break that down and look at our rate today, or the number of positive cases that we have 5 positive cases for every 10,000 individuals that I've identified as part of our Berkeley County community. So that testing is very important. And the fact that we want to solicit and advocate for that, we've reached out to all our families and staff. We've connected with our business partners through the Chamber, Main Street Martinsburg, also through the county offices, our PTA reps, the city police, and our service and professional reps. We need to see a change, and we believe we can achieve that through this testing. So thank you again to the National Guard, also to our state offices and our local health department for advocating for this. As you can see, nationally as well as locally, the spread of COVID is not something that's prevalent in our schools. It's predominantly out there in our community, but it does impact and affect us in our schools. And so we need to think about that very consciously and look at this as a community effort. And again, my cry to folks for that help and assistance is really to participate in the testing that is not only going to be going on this week, but well into the future, and helping identify those individuals that may be asymptomatic or not showing symptoms. Moving on, we have Ashton Stoddard here at Eagle School, and she is using an iPad with an Apple Pencil, and she's doing a math demonstration on her computer. So I'm encouraging all of us with our CLIC students that we make regular and ongoing contact. And I'm really soliciting parents to be playing an active role in this. I want to thank our teachers, because talking with a number of our teachers, what they're telling me is they are in fact reaching out if they're not seeing students in class, or there's not active participation. So I think our staff is doing a wonderful job in making those connections with families. But I want to encourage participation specifically for our students who are CLIC, because number one, we need you to start to log in regularly to your classes. And number two, logging on is just the first step. The second step is to begin to engage actively in lessons. We've got the end of the grading period coming up here on November the 10th, and we will be 25% of the way through the school year. So now is a good time to begin to make some progress. I know some time has passed, but again, now is the time to really begin to become much more engaged as you look at the remainder of the year. This time of the year also, we begin to push out messages about preparing for inclement weather. So I want to give everyone an update, as I know that having the ability to do remote learning frees us up in the way to be able to provide instruction when we do have inclement weather. I do want to let you know that we've got 5 days built into our current calendar, and the first 5 snow days missed to inclement weather will not be made up. On the 6th day, however, we'll ask students and staff to observe remote learning, and if any additional days are needed in the future, we will address for the 6th, 7th, and so on days if we have inclement weather as driving us. We also recognize that because of our adjusted schedule or shortened instructional day for both brick and click students, we will not be utilizing a 1 or 2 hour delay in the morning. If necessary, though, for early dismissal, we will utilize a 1 hour early dismissal due to inclement weather, and we'll kind of factor that also into how storms are moving into the area. This is also to let our community and parents know that an announcement will be coming out early if we do a 1 hour early out, and we'll hopefully just be making an announcement by 11:30 a.m. Again, we'll be using many of the common communication channels that we've done in the past. We encourage families to look at contingency plans. And this year, our hope is if we're making any decisions about snow days or remote learning days due to inclement weather, those decisions will be made by 5:30 a.m. in the morning or earlier. I want to recognize Kathy Wright and the entire staff at Winchester Avenue. They are celebrating 100 years, 1920 to 2020. And I have a t-shirt here that there's going to be part of that celebration that they're going to be handing out to their community. I also want to thank some of our sponsors, our partners in education that contributed to getting these shirts pulled together for the school. Just to give you a little bit of a snapshot also, in some of the tenures of some of the principals that were at the school. Paul Sherrard was the first principal, and he was principal there from 1919 to 1950. A. Colin Nadenbush was there from 1950 to 1973. Jesse Jenkins from 1973 to 1986. Rodney Woods from 1986 to 87. Steve Crowell from 1987 to 89. Joyce Chapman from 1989 to 2002. Michelle Martin from 2002 to 2005. Dean Warnfelt from 2005 to 2015. And Kathy Wright took the reins in 2015. So you can just get an idea of some of the tenure of some of our principal leadership and individuals that worked in the school. I believe, Mr. Murphy, you also worked at the school there for a number of years. So hopefully you'll join in on some of the celebration that's happening there, and we'll be promoting that. We've got our mission and vision and core values group meeting back here on November the 12th. They worked through a number of items, pulling the mission together at their last meeting. The plan still is that we will be bringing this forward to the board on December the 16th and letting you folks know about what the mission, vision, and core values and beliefs are. Speaking academically, I highlighted the 9 weeks ends here on the 10th. We've got parent-teacher conferences on the 17th for primary, 18th for intermediate, and 19th for middle. This is Miss Cosner, a kindergarten teacher at Marlowe. And if families also want to do virtual conferencing, that will be made available, and just touch base with teachers. This group is the Val Bats at Spring Mills Primary, AEIOU, and sometimes Y, and they were in the spirit of the season. So we want to thank the Val Bats for their enthusiasm. Just a reminder that tomorrow is Election Day, and that is a holiday for students and staff. We also we'll celebrate Veterans Day on the 11th. That's next Wednesday. And then the Thanksgiving break is November the 25th through the 29th. And our teachers continue to demonstrate, and staff continue to demonstrate a whole host of characters and enthusiasm. This is at Marlowe, and they are celebrating the book characters and dressing up Where is Waldo? So thank you to Katie Worthington and her entire staff out there. As you can see, the staff are sort of exuding enthusiasm to get kids involved. We just want to do some shout outs to folks this week who had some personal accomplishments, most notably our nutrition, transportation, school teams of staff and nurses. We had a video that we pushed out that talked about how meal distribution was going for remote learning. We also noted earlier that we are seeing a real increase in communication by our teachers and taking the time to do that, especially reaching out to our CLIC students. I want to personally congratulate John Coleman, Hedgesville High School boys soccer coach, who was selected the 2019-2020 West Virginia Coach of the Year for boys soccer. And then finally, Steve Campbell, the athletic director at Musselman High School, was recognized for earning his Certified Master Athletic Administrator from the NIAA Association. Congratulations, Steve. Hard work and well done. And then finally, I'll just encourage folks, as they did last time, to follow me on my blog postings. I share different thoughts and ideas that are kind of relative to what the happenings are, not only here in Berkeley County, but across our nation in public education. So thank you.